Hello guys, it's Tina here. Today I want us to actually talk about something very important, okay? All the while it's just been trade reviews on my win trades, all right? And today I want us to talk about this rare part that most people would not always want to talk about. Ever since the year started, it has been a roller coaster on the charts for me. All right, I've been on this crazy drawdown because of errors in my execution so far. Okay, I call it errors in my execution because right after each and every one of these losses, I always was able to dictate the reason for the loss. And I think that is one thing that every trader needs to take note of. You want to always know the reason behind your losses. You don't want to take a loss and then you can relax and tell me it's the normal popular saying that losses are part of the game. No, you don't do that. You want to go back and review those losses the same way you review your win trades. You want to review your losses and know, because I feel like you learn very well from your losses and as well from your wins, but it's very important we go back to them. And while I have been able to do this on my own, taking note of where the problems and errors are coming from, I also felt it was a good idea, or it is a good idea to share to you guys here, okay, for as many people as possible that would see this video. I felt it was also good, or it is good, to share the problems in my execution the same way I've been sharing my wins. So let's get started immediately. Last year, this was the last move. My last video was on my last win trades for 2025. Okay, if you have not seen the video, please, you can just like have a glimpse, you can just like take a look, okay, or a glance. That should have been the word. So after this very impulsive move here, that was my last trade. Price did a little, roundabout here, after which it actually broke out. If you can see, it really broke out. It did. Want to it did. This is not the level I want to actually talk about, but yeah, let's start from there and take note. Okay, so price actually broke out from there and gave us a demand zone to work with before it gave this daily breakout, like this proper breakout. Okay, so this is like an internal breakout, but it's more noticeable on the 4 hour. Still an external, but as compared to the daily time frame, it's an internal. All right, so price gave us another demand zone to work with, very much noticeable on the 4 hour. We'll be moving down there very soon, right? So the problem I had with my execution was the fact that I did not mark my order block very well. Okay, I knew this was my order block, but I had to go down to the 15 minutes to refine my entry, and that gave me a missed trade, not a lost trade, a missed trade. So price moved away from me. Okay, very close to the entry, but just moved and moved to take profit immediately. I'm sorry, this thing that I put here was just like a correction. All I should have done to get a proper entry, let me just zoom in a little bit. What should have given me a proper entry was marking my order block, marking 50% of my order block, and I've taken note of that. For as long as my order block reflects on my daily time frame or weekly time frame, all I just need is 50% of it and I'm fine. Okay, I don't have to go to the 15 minutes, except it's giving me a large SL. Of course, maybe I can go on to the 15 minutes, but if the SL is okay, then there's practically no need to want to, you know. I think 50% is very okay, reasonably okay. 50% is reasonably okay. If I had just done it that way, there's no way I would have missed the trade. So that was like my first trade for January. That would have been it would have been a very good win trade, but I lost it. So let's go to the 4 hour time frame. This was my first trade for January 2025, 2026. All right. And yeah, so this is the level. This is the first break of structure that I marked. Of course, some people took this trade, but I didn't get into this area. I didn't even take note of it. Okay. I was enjoying my Christmas holiday. Okay. I also think I tried taking a sell around here because I needed price to mitigate this FVG. But then somehow price kept rallying around it. And during the December holiday, I think around 25th, there was no trading day. So I decided I should just exit my position. So I exited in little profit. That was like 98 dollars or $99 profit. I left, and then of course price, took out that position and continued the buy, never mitigated this FVG. All right. So yeah, that was it. And as you can see, I missed the whole of this move. Did. I missed the whole of this move. So I thought I should follow up with a move. So I'll be talking about the follow up move that gave me the losses. This was a missed trade. So the next video, I'll be talking about the follow up trades that actually gave me the first two losses after the first win trade, after the first missed trade. All right. So see you on the next video. All right. Welcome back. So right after that move, after I missed that very move, I felt like okay, you don't always have to, because ordinarily as someone that is more of a swing trader, once I miss a move, I see it as one move. But we all know that people that trade the lower time frame entries, most times they get much more moves. Okay. So I felt like you don't necessarily have to allow the whole move to, waste. You want to also follow up with the move, because the take profit level is around this zone, of course. Take profit level was just around that. Do I need to mark it? At least you can see the cursor. It was around this zone. All right. So I felt I should follow up the move, and the next follow up level should be on the 1 hour time frame, right? Because that's where you can get more of your continuation entries. Let's go there. Okay, we are here already. I'm sorry. So yeah, I felt like I should follow up with the move. As you can see, the moment price went, price gave us this structure shift here. All right. And give us another structure shift here. Do I have to mark? I don't know if you need me to mark. Um, we had this here. This is the first structure shift here. We had another one here. All right. So I think the error there was me not being able to identify that those two break of structures actually represent one on the 4 hour. All right. Actually represents one actually. So price already, like, tapped into this very level here to give us this level here. Okay. And when it came here, it also tapped into this very level here to give us this leg. Okay. This is an inefficient price action. And for inefficient price actions, price always comes back to filling. Right. So yeah. So the mistake I made for this was that I put an entry around here. That was a mistake. I put my entry around here. So what this particular move taught me was that I had already forgotten how to trade my lower time frame, because I was so used to the higher time frame levels. So this was wrong, because as a second break of structure, it was definitely going to act as an inducement. All right. So price, you notice that how price swept it and came around here to react. Okay. So price used that one as an inducement, and I should have known better. I should have known better. So when price swept it, the truth is that I didn't even realize that, oh, something was wrong already. I didn't realize it. I didn't realize that for price to sweep it, okay, that it simply means that, oh, this particular level was just an inducement. I thought, okay, this should be a sell continuation. That was another error. Now, you notice this is where it's important for you to know when to, take a step back from the market and know the reason for your losses. I didn't pay attention. I didn't even come down to know the reason for that loss. Already before during my weekend study on my weekly review, there was a rejection. So I felt like, okay, this week is supposed to actually be a sell week. But normally if it's going to be a sell week, it definitely would start with a buy. All right. So I felt like, okay, maybe the sell wanted to start immediately. Since there was a rejection week on the weekly time frame to show that, oh, the previous week ended with a rejection, we might see price, dip lower this time around. I followed up with a continuation for the sell. Okay. I want to talk about the third loss. After the second loss, talk about the third loss. Okay. So the third loss that I had after that one, after price swept this one, and I noticed that, oh, price used it as an inducement. I didn't even know that it used it as an inducement. Like I said, I had to go on a follow up. I had to go on a follow up trade immediately, thinking that, oh, this should have been a sell continuation. So yeah, that was it. I followed up with this other block. The moment I saw this bearish engulfing candle, I followed up immediately. Okay. I saw this, you can see it very clearly. Let me zoom in a little bit. So I marked this bearish engulfing candle that you can see there, hoping that, oh, price would sell. No, price went again and bought. This is like, that happened to be my first time of, incurring two losses at the same time in one day. Within a space of how many minutes, I took two losses and my eye cleared up immediately. I exited the chart. I should have just exited the chart immediately, but I hate to take more than one loss. Some people in their own plan, they kind of they accommodate up to two losses, but I don't like it. I hate to lose two times, especially in the same level, okay, and same pair too. So yeah, I switched bias and then I took another loss. All right, on the next video, I'm going to talk about the third loss. Right after that particular loss, that is the second loss that I took. This was the second loss. Okay, so price went ahead, went to the major take profit level, swept it. It swept it completely. It did not break. It didn't give a fresh break of structure, like, it just swept it around this level. All right, that gave the sell opportunity that I was looking for, but because I had already taken a loss on the on this particular sell, I didn't think about the sell again. So on the 15 minutes, we had a failure swing. You can see at least there was a failure swing around here. So you can see it very clearly on the 15 minutes. The moment that failure swing happened, this rejection happened. I already knew there was going to be a change in, a change in state of delivery. So price already changed bias. I should have followed up with the sell, but I had already taken two losses. I didn't bother going in again. So I just left the market. Right. So price printed all of this. Price printed all of this. And of course, I was now looking for a way to follow up with the sell again. Okay. Remember, in all of these things, we have a daily time frame level that we are looking at. Okay. We had a daily time frame because your daily time frame will always be like your I think it helps you with direction. Okay, so when price swept that place and gave us all of this sell, it now reacted to the FVG that I was waiting for it to react to since December, that it failed to react to. Price failed to react to this FVG during that December period. It had to go all of this level, on all of this length, to still come back and, mitigate the FVG. So already I was waiting for it at the order block. I don't trade FVGs. Okay, but for the higher time frame FVG, you can always get moves. So you see, that was why I was looking for the move, and I did not wait for price here. I was waiting for price here. So when price reacted to the FVG, I needed the follow up pattern. So I thought price would not necessarily move above this bearish level here. Okay, because though it didn't give me a very good, engulfing candle, but I felt like price would not go beyond it. But looking at it, you can see that it is not even a valid daily order block, like daily bearish order block. It wasn't really valid. I don't even know what made me to have faith in this level. So I thought I should follow up with the sell. Okay, so on the 4 hour, I followed up with the sell. Really, I followed up with the sell on the 4 hour. Placed my this thing here, my position to here. Okay. On the 15 minutes, there was a proper order block there. On the 15 minutes, there was, so because it was a higher time frame level that I was looking at, it was indeed a higher time frame level that I was paying attention to. And I had my profit targets. Okay. I had my profit targets beyond this level. So price came, played around before it eventually came to this level. And when it came, it rejected as if it wanted to sell. I took the third loss again. Indeed, I took the third loss. Right? That's the third loss. Yeah. So after the third loss, I realized that, oh, this level was not even a valid level. Okay. That's like me trying to trade a breaker that I don't even trade. So that was another error that I made. And I felt like, okay, this is another valid order block. At least it was not valid on the daily. It looked valid here. So I felt like I should follow up with this level. And of course, you guys, it still failed. So this became price, price went through this particular order block and swept it. He swept it. So what did he do? After he swept it, he created another sell opportunity. That was what happened. You know, created another sell opportunity for me, and I thought I should follow up with it. So when price failed this level, it came and reclaimed it. For those that trade reclaimed block, I don't. So what I noticed was the order block around here. Now this is the full order block, and on the daily time frame, it was an engulfing bar. Okay, so marking half of this engulfing bar on the daily time frame would have still given me the entry that I needed without any form of refinement. But there you go again, I made another mistake. So marking just 50% of this, let's do that right here. And I believe you can see it very well. So marking just 50% of this level would have just given me what I needed. It would have just given me the entry I needed with the proper SL and all. Okay. So if I had just marked it, that was okay. So you see that I repeated the same error. The same error that I made from the beginning of this trade. I repeated it again. I repeated it again, and it was not funny. I repeated it again. The same error that made me to miss the trade on the first trade that I missed. I repeated that error again on this level, and I felt like going crazy. Like, I mean, you told yourself that you were not going to refine your entries again. What made you refine your entry? So look at when I went and placed my entry again. Why? Because I went to the 4 hour. After this engulfing back handle here, on the 4 hour, of course, I also had a good entry. Okay, because this is a proper order block. This is the source candle, the liquidity clearing candle. Okay, I will take this outside. You see what I'm saying? This is the source candle. The first green candle is the source candle. This is the liquidity clearing candle. This is the engulfing candle. So my entry, this was already enough refinement. This gave me a sniper entry if I had just used it. But I still went ahead and refined it again. That made me to now miss this very trade. You see? So this was half of the daily order block. The only refinement that I needed was to use this order block here, this 4 hour order block without refining it. So this was the refinement that I needed. Okay? This was the refinement that I needed. See that it gave me a sniper entry. It did. It did. But you won't believe it that I missed the whole of this trade. Let me show you. Let me show you. The same way I missed everything because my take profit level was here. I missed everything. Everything I missed it. And this had to be another painful loss. A loss that was, I will call it a loss because even an SL is better than this. An SL is better I incur an SL than this type of trade because it was so painful to the core. You guys, it was really painful to the core. So this was my take profit level. This was my take profit level. This was a very good risk to reward trade you should have given me. So this is my invalidation point. Are you seeing it? This is 7.66 R that I should have gotten on this trade. But I missed it. I missed it. I did. So if I had just, followed up without refining, okay? Because if your other blocks are clear on a lower time frame, that's already enough refinement. All right. But even if you don't want to refine, okay, the only thing there is that you already missed maybe 1 or 2 pips or 3 or 10 pips, by using the daily time frame order block. I still missed it again because I did not pay attention. I did not pay attention. So one thing I've learned in this market is that if you don't pay attention to your errors, you will keep you will keep experiencing the same error until you learn your lesson. Okay, so you see this massive move that I missed to this point. That was the first miss trade. I incurred losses upon losses upon losses before I was able to come to another win trade. And now the next win trade that should have still brought me back, I still missed it again. Still missed it again. And it was so painful. So now I already knew that right after this very level, the next level would be the daily order block that I was waiting for. Okay, after I had missed the sell to this very point, I knew that the next level will now be price will be coming to is this level. So price never gave another sell opportunity till it came to this daily order block. On the next video, I'll be talking about the fourth loss that I incurred in this demand zone alone. Like, see you on the next one. Welcome back. Welcome back, guys. So when price came all the way down to this demand zone, I went ahead and was using this order block here. Now, I already had a rule that the only time I will follow up with an engulfing bar is when price is yet to form a full structure, just like it did around here. I'll clear this out so that we can see. I already told myself that the only time I can make use of an engulfing bar is only when price has not created a complete structure. If it has created a complete structure, then there's no need for you to still make use of an engulfing bar, just like it did here for this particular cell. Okay, this is an engulfing bar and an inverse pin bar. So price already has not created a full structure, so it's valid to use it because that's like continuation move. Price will always tap back into it. For those that trade breakout and retest, like candlestick breakout and retest, price always has a way of, whenever it breaks out, it taps back into it. If you go to the lower time frame, this engulfing bar here is like a full break of structure, right? So that's like another zone to, take your continuation entries. But when price has formed a full structure like this, the whole of this level is a demand zone. It has formed. You don't have to take your entries from this type of level. And I already told myself this. So that was another error that I repeated that made me to take the fourth and final loss. All right. So price came. I marked my order block around here, marked 50% of this level. I'm sure you can see this. I don't know if you can. So I marked 50% of it. All right. I marked 50% of this order block here, and I got in. As you can see, when I did, let me mark 50%. I'm not going to be using the canvas this time. So, so price, I came and price came at first, respected it. Okay. It rejected as if it wanted to respect it. But as you can see, it still went ahead and swept it off. All right. So that was when I knew that, oh, I had made another stupid error. This was supposed to be the order block. We're supposed to find the order block. Now, the order block is any candle that clears liquidity from other candles. So which candle clears the liquidity here? Is this one, the dodgy that you can see. I want to assume that you can see this very clearly. I'm zooming in. So I had to mark 50%, and the 50% you can see here is 50% of the dodgy. And notice how price tapped right into it, and it was a sniper entry. So while I did not take any trade on this level again, because I have a rule not to take a trade on the same level that I have lost before, taking a second trade there is like hunting myself, because if it goes against me, then there's a problem. So I already knew that, okay, price already, look at all the price did. If you go to the lower time frame, all of this move here, there are a lot of range, okay, choppiness. So I told myself that I'm no longer comfortable with this level. This is another valid level. If price might decide to come down further, then this is another valid level. It's definitely coming down too. Okay. So if price decides to still sell, this is still the next level it might come to. Okay. So I marked the order block. Price respected it, but I did not take the trade again. All right. And I was like, price continues to respect it, then of course I will now follow up with the continuation. All right. So moving to the 4 hour time frame, that was where I needed my confirmation. So price came all the way. See, look at it. Look at, this is where it triggered the order block, and then price went all the way. And I was waiting for it to give me a break of structure, like take out this swing high here, for me to be sure. Because the moment price started moving, I already found a zone that I could follow up with. This is the order block. I felt like price already left behind, but then I needed price to give me a strong breakout from this level for me to follow up with the move. But price failed. And why did it fail? In my opinion, I think it failed because it already created a resistance here. Okay, it has been fighting, you know it has been fighting to break out of it, because it was trying to get to the proper order block. All right. So price fought to still break above that. It had to come back to react to the order block first. I already had this set up at first. I cleaned it off, and then again I had to put it back because that was just like the most valid order block I was seeing. So when price came close to this level, I knew that okay, for it to come down back is just it trying to react to the a resistance, no longer a break of the trade. It's trying to, because if you go to the 1 hour time frame, you're going to see that this is a proper resistance, that because the price ranged a little around this area. So I knew that price was trying to react to it. Okay. So when it pulls back, the next level it is going to give is going to be more like breaking out of it. And hopefully it will this time around. Okay, so you notice the price triggered my entry and is moving. So this is my current trade. All right. So after that loss on the demand zone, I thought about a follow up, and when price gave this, I felt like, okay, this is a good zone to follow up with. Although I did not get the strong confirmation that I was looking for, but I had to just take the risk to get in on this very trade. Okay. Ordinarily, when you don't see your criteria met, you just want to sit it out. But price already came close to taking it out. And I felt like even if he did not take it out, it's just trying to react to this resistance. So for it to go back, it might just want to react to the other block first before taking out the resistance, and I'm hoping that that's what price is doing. All right, so this is the current level I'm at, and I'll be talking about this very trade only when it's, goes to the take profit, when it successfully goes to the target. And then on the next video on this channel, we'll be talking about it. All right, we'll be talking about the trade and how I was able to, find my entry. Okay, how I was able to also mark out this very other block. All right, so that will be on the next video, on my next post, not on this one. All right, so that's it for my 4 losses in a row. It's been 4 losses in a row, 4 losses in a row. It's been a roller coaster. I've not like done so much on gold. Gold is my second pair. I've not like done so much, but I have a current setup running there. Currently, I've not traded it, but I have this setup that has been running there. Okay, I've been following up with the move. I already promised myself that on my prop account, I want to just be making use of one pair to trade it. However, this is my second pair, and I follow up with the move. Price respected my level here, and it has been moving, and hopefully it will get to target. All right, so guys, this is the end of this very video. I hope you were able to learn one or two things from my losses because it's been a lot for me this January. So you see that basically I've not had any win trade this January, and the trades that I was going to even win in the first place, this trades turned out to be missed entry. You see my missed entry here. This is the missed entry here. Took 2 losses around this place, took another loss around there, took another loss on the daily time frame demand zone, and that was 4 losses in a row, and the first 4 losses in a row that I have ever encountered. All right, okay, I have dealt with losing streak, and but that's when I was trying to find my edge. But ever since I kind of found my edge in the market, I've not like undergone any losing streak, and I underwent it the beginning of this year. So I can say that I've been through a lot since this year started. All right, but one thing that is very important is the fact that in all of these losses, I did not relax. I always took. I have a full written note on the errors that I encountered on these levels. All right, and the things I should have done better. I actually journaled everything, and that is why I keep getting better, because I can't get better if I don't take note of the reasons for these losses. All right, so that was the most beautiful part of it. While the whole thing is so painful, because I know where I should have been by now, you know, but then it's all about lessons. In trading, we should be more process oriented and result oriented, because when you are process oriented, you are more about what you are learning or what you are going to learn for each level, for each trade, for each experience in the market. You are all about what you're going to learn, not all about how much you're going to get out of it. So that has been my mantra, being process oriented, not outcome or result oriented. All right. So because I have that at the back of my mind, in my subconscious already, for every loss I take, while it may waver my confidence a little bit, I still find a way to learn from that loss. And that was exactly what I did for each and every of these losses and all the missed trades. And I got the information that I needed to know by the very special grace of God. So yeah, that is it. And I hope you were able to learn something from my losses and things that I should have done better as well. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, okay, because I'll be dropping a lot more, okay. And turn on notifications to also be the first to be receiving my videos when I drop them. All right, so see you on the next one. Bye.